All right. Think I got it working this time. What's up, folks? I was just sitting around about to do some work, and I figured I would live stream while I was working so y'all could ask me some questions and we could hang out and chill and just do the usual stuff we do here on the channel. Again, thanks for hanging out on the channel, and I hope this information always helps you all out. Thanks for watching the live streams, and yeah, today we're just gonna be hanging out. I got some past back work that I need to do because I've been super behind just on keeping up my blog on my website, which if y'all have watched some of my more recent videos talking about like what to do after a wedding, which is make a blog post of your wedding so that you have content on your website, which is good for SEO and stuff. I've kind of slacked on that since 2019. So I need to go back through some of my old weddings and get my stuff together. But yeah, how's everyone doing? I guess we're crossing into that time now where all the folks overseas, it's a little too late for y'all now. And it's good afternoon for us here over in the States. Good morning for y'all on the West Coast. We got Costa Rica in the house. You haven't worn a shirt with a collar in 15 months. I've made it like a habit for myself to try and at least still dress like I was going to work. Because remember too, I've only been full-time wedding photography for 3 years now. So I'm not used to this like only work at home. Like I've been dealing with that before 2020. And now I know everyone else is also dealing with it. But that's been a thing for me, is to still feel like I'm going to the office, to still feel like I'm working. So yeah, I still try to dress nice even though I don't even go anywhere. London in the house. Hello, hello, good evening. Philippines, we got Texas. We got Poland in the house. Do you use anything like a loop deck or any other consoles? Yeah, I was using a tour box. The tour box. I was using that for a little bit. I don't use it too often because I'm so used to my own key commands and stuff at this point, but it was cool and I loved using it. I got a new desk setup, which I'll be talking about soon on the channel. Pretty cool stuff going on over here in the office. Finally got everything cleaned. Probably did the best cable management I've ever done in my whole life. So I'm excited about all that. India in the house. We got PA, Spain, Greece. We got the whole world. Honduras. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Like I said again, we're just gonna hang out today. Y'all feel free to ask me any questions, anything you were curious about, anything you want to learn about. And for now, I'm gonna be jumping in to going back to some of my old weddings from 2019 and exporting them so I can put them on the blog on my site. So yeah, y'all get to see some of my good old 2019 works. Capture One style soon, very close. I think I'm gonna schedule out one more live stream and that will be the final test. They're pretty much ready. I'm excited to get them out myself, so I wanna do it soon. Y'all see my makeshift what are they called? Wow, my brain that you use on tables for your cups. I ordered some, but nothing right now. How do you feel knowing your influence has spread literally all over the world? It is kind of crazy, y'all. I'm not used a coaster. Thank you. It's weird. It's weird. It's new. It's new to be like, oh yeah. Like, I don't like using the term influencer, but you know, like, it's cool to know that I'm able to relay some information to others so that they can grow and learn. Because even where I'm at myself, started watching photographers on YouTube, growing from there, starting my own business, getting a mentor, and then him teaching me the ropes, like on the floor, going from there, and then now here I am today. So it's cool. So just passing it back to the community, basically. It'd be so cool if you can show the correct way to point your flash outdoors and different from it. I don't use flashes a lot, but I was planning on at some point trying to do some off-camera flash videos. But yeah, that's a lot of people ask about flashes, and I just don't use off-camera flash too often, which is why I don't talk about it too much. BenQ employee, yeah. I love y'all's monitors. I'm still on my BenQ 3420Q right now. Great stuff. What advice would you give someone trying to film behind the scenes of their own wedding? So don't be afraid to pay a videographer. That's probably one of the biggest things I did on my channel that a lot of people won't do. You see most people, they'll just use like a GoPro or something like that. I actually pay a videographer to come with me and film me. And I tell my couples that, obviously, so that they know like who this extra person is. But yeah, I'll pretty much be like, yeah, I'm bringing a videographer and we're gonna, you know, record the day and we'll put it on YouTube and it's gonna look like this. That's the biggest tip. Other than that, like, obviously let your couples know. Don't just show up and be like, hey, I'm gonna record your wedding day. That's no one's gonna be down for that, you know. Oh man, these weddings are so, well, they're not that old. This is 2019, but it's been quite a while. I just started my CrossFit photography business. Nice. I think I took the inspiration from your videos. Awesome. Have you ever used MFT sensor camera? I have not. I don't even know what that is. So I've talked about this a bit on my channel before, like weddings that you necessarily don't want to show on your site. Don't be afraid to just put them up there, and like I said, hide them deep down in the site, but have them up there for SEO, because trust me, it'll come back. You won't even realize it. Someone one day will be like, oh hey, I saw your, you know, your photos from whatever venue, and you'll be like, oh, because this hands down was not ideal. This venue, the bride suite is literally like a dungeon. It is the worst. Actually, I was using off-camera flash here because it was like all I had. It was the only option. If you use flash, point it up at the ceiling to get a bounce. Yeah, bounce flash is my jam all the time. All the time. Oh, thanks for that sub. A friend wants me to film their wedding super casual, but I need a mic. Any recommendations so it won't break the bank? Breaking the bank is subjective to people, so I don't want to suggest anything too expensive, but a lot of the Rode microphones are nice. The thing is, you're gonna need like a lavalier or something that you can put on people. Those little wireless Rodes, they're really nice, and you could just clip it on someone real quick. That's what I would go for. They're really easy to use. They're really awesome. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going through the photos that I have already edited, and I'm marking them blue, which is 9 on the keyboard. And basically this gives me all the photos that I'm gonna want to use for my blog post. Make these thumbnails a little bigger so I can see people's facial expressions a little bit better. Tascam DR10, yep. It is hands down one of the best. That's what I use for my behind the scenes weddings for recording myself. Yeah, the DR10 is like, throw a single AAA battery and that thing lasts for like 24 hours. I'm in the process of picking my new computer. Can you tell me what you're using? I have a custom built computer. I built it myself, so it's a PC. If you want to get a little frisky, mine is a Hackintosh, so I loaded Mac OS on it, so I can jump between Mac OS and also Windows. Right now I'm on Windows, but as far as specs, so I'm a huge fan. Once I built my first ever PC, I'm like a huge advocate for building your own computer, unless you want an Apple computer. If you want an Apple computer, then go get an Apple. But if you are looking into like PCs and stuff, and especially if you're okay with not having a laptop only, I would say build your own. Right now is probably not the best time because graphics cards are like insanely priced. But other than that, building your own is like the jam. I'm about that life. But yeah, mine's custom built. It has a Intel i9 9900K. I overclocked it just a little bit. I got a Radeon 6800 XT graphics card. It's a good time. So remember with blog posts, you don't want to pick too many photos. So I'm trying to just pick enough to really get the feel of the day and show off kind of what I want to for the day. I usually don't include family portraits. I usually don't include bridal party. I might put a couple though. The bridal party photos from this wedding was pretty cool. Yeah, like this one with the guys was great. And then I took another one. This height difference between the couple was real. Sometimes that happens where you get like an insane height difference, and it's a little hard to deal with. Uh-oh, Lightroom. Wait, where'd that bridal party shot cut? Was that later? Some shots of the bride. Oh, you know what I usually do? So I'll do one of the bride vertical and also one of the groom, so I can put them side by side. I got the M1 MacBook Air and iPad Pro 4th Gen. Nice. Yeah, those M1 chips are legit. I have an iPad Pro coming in the mail. They're taking forever, but I should have one soon coming to me. I got the 12.9 because I'm interested in that screen to see how it looks. I haven't even gotten a shipping notification yet. Hackintosh, hold off on building right now because graphics cards are crazy. So I sold one of my old graphics cards. I had the Radeon 7. That thing sold on eBay for $2,400. Like, why? You know, that graphics card I think was like $700 retail or something. And yeah, it sold for $2,400. Like, crazy. What's the average photos you give to your clients? It ranges, but it tends to be around like 800 to 1,000 depending on the day and how long it was. Then we get a picture, father-daughter dance. Here's a good one. Mother-son. Some speech stuff. We'll throw this in there for fun. Here's the cake. And then I think at this point it's just dancing. I can't even remember these weddings anymore. It's been so long. I'll usually do like 1 or 2 pictures from the speeches. Just again to get the feel of the day. Then some cake cut stuff. We did more portraits. Look at that height difference, y'all. She's tiny. You know what? I'm not even gonna put this shot in here. And then some party. So for these, I try to keep them even. So I'll count them out. 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, and unless I see anything good, that's probably enough at this point. And then yeah, they did a little exit type thing. Did they do an exit? See, I don't even remember anymore. Here, we'll do this as the last. There. So now I can say 5 stars and blue. So I selected 76 photos, so that's great. And that's a good little blog post. So I'm gonna take these. Oh goodness. And I'm gonna export them. This goes back in my 2019 folder. This is Danielle and Cody. Make a new folder. Or actually, it'll put it in a folder and we'll call it for blog, or no, I usually call this photographers. Oh my goodness, I don't even remember my process anymore, y'all. That's how long it's been since I've done these. So behind. I think I call it photographer's choice. So let's make sure I'm doing it right. Let's go back to 2018 where I did most of these like I was supposed to. Yeah, photographer's choice. So I know that these are the ones I chose for like the blog. We also want to rename them. And we want to do sequence number and original file name, so that when they export, they're in order. Resize it to 2500, resolution is 72, sharpen for screen, open it, and exposure. All right. Is the Fujifilm 16 to 55 for shooting weddings? You can use it. Again, in my opinion, oh, my freaking out, trying to export at the same time. In my opinion, again, there's no perfect lens for anything. So the lens questions are kind of like, you can use whatever you want to. It's the same thing. People always come to me and they're like, why do you use the f2 lenses? Because they work. You know, if the light's there and it's fine, it works. So I don't really subscribe to the like, oh, you have to have the fastest lens to shoot weddings. You really don't. You just need to know what you're doing and have good glass in general. Apple loves taking forever for shipping. Yeah, because I got the 1 terabyte 12.9. I have to like wait until like probably after WWDC, which I'm a little bummed about, but hopefully they're gonna announce some kind of new iPad OS stuff and we can get some like Final Cut on the iPad. Oh, I'm gonna be so excited if they do that. How you deal with time crunches throughout the day to get the shots you want? Time crunches are always the hardest thing to deal with on wedding days, and usually you're always gonna have to deal with them. They always happen. At some point there will be some kind of time crunch because usually someone takes too long getting ready at the beginning of the day. So when it comes to time crunches, honestly, you just have to take control of the day and get what you can when you can. And you also, I've talked about this a lot, you have to have the couple on your team so that when stuff goes down, you can come to them and say, hey, look, we're running a bit behind and these are the only ways that I'm gonna get the photos that you want. and they know they paid for you, so they trust you. So they're like, hey, we have to get these photos. Just give me 5 minutes real quick. And usually they'll be like, yeah, let's do it. And then if a planner or someone else is like dogging you, like, oh, it's time to go, the couple will be like, we need these photos. John told us we need these photos. And that'll protect you. So again, having the couple on your team is like the main thing you absolutely have to do for yourself to not have time crunches like ruin your whole day. When the couple's on your team, anything they say goes. And if they trust you and you're like, this is what has to happen, they'll tell everyone else, and everyone else will listen to them. Do you do blog posts for all your weddings and sessions? I do it for pretty much most all of them. Basically, again, I've talked about this before. I kind of have like different tiers of where I show my weddings. And I can kind of show y'all real quick what I'm talking about while this thing is exporting. But yeah, so basically on my site, I like to tier out all the photos or the weddings that I put on my site. So up front, I'll have, these are kind of like the featured ones. So right now, these are like some of my best works, or either the best days or the days that I think represent my photography the best, or all kinds of different things. Oh, this thing just opened up full screen. Ah, stop. So this is like the best of the best. Then you click on see more weddings, and this takes you to my page that basically shows off another set of like really good weddings. Jess, I can't. You in the Thank you again for the super chat. Thank you so much. I get so much. I'm gonna go refill my coffee with some kind of sweet tasting good coffee. But yeah, so these are like also more of the better weddings, stuff that really shows what I want my couples to see, the type of weddings that I want to have. I actually probably should update this, but I can't update it because I haven't put all my weddings on my site. So yeah, and then the third tier, which kind of goes to your question of do you put all your weddings on your site? I do, but the third tier is deep down inside the blog, where you have to like go digging, and there's weddings in here that aren't shown on that last page, but they're shown on the site. And again, I do this for SEO, because you want the names of these venues and stuff, you want that on your site. So even if they're not visible to your couples, like really, you need them just on your site. Oh no, okay, it did edit. It did export, right? It's just out of order here for reasons unknown. So we select all these, put my sharpening and grain on it, and then I go through and find all the black and whites, because they need the black and white sharpening and grain. Oh, you know what? The shot I was thinking about is a different wedding at the same venue. I can't even remember my own weddings, y'all. How sad. Is your site on Squarespace? It is. Again, I used to work at Squarespace. I worked there for 5 years. So I love Squarespace. I'm used to it. It's easy to use for me. What plan do I have? Mine is a comp site because I used to work there, so mine's free. But basically, it's the I think it's the commerce plan is the equivalent of what it is. Do you have a set amount of photos you give your clients after it's all done? I don't have a set amount. I usually have an average range. So my average is 650, but I tend to deliver way more than that. Generally, it's around $800 or $1,000. But yeah. It's around $1,000, y'all. I'm like so tired. 800 to 1,000 photos, but I don't have like a limit. I don't like setting a limit. I'll just tell my couples the average, And then it depends on the day and how long the day was, and it kind of ranges from there. I'm trying to get a new editing computer. The M1 Mac Mini seems good, but I also want to get here and there. But the PC parts market is, yeah, PC parts right now is pretty bad. I wouldn't suggest anyone to build a PC unless you have access to a graphics card. Those M1 Mac, so I have an M1 Mac Mini. I don't use it as my main computer, but I definitely use it, and it's good stuff. Like, it really is good stuff. All right, so that was one wedding. Let's continue. So I gotta figure out what is on my site and what isn't. Oops. Let's see. Oh, okay. So see, I'm comparing what's on my site to what I've actually done here. So Casey and Colin, I don't think. Yeah, wow, y'all, what have I done? Okay, they're not on there. Let's see if I have already in the past for some reason exported their photos. So I go back to where all my photos are. That was 2019 weddings, Casey and Colin, and there is no photographer's choice. So that means I haven't done it yet. So now, because it's been so long, I have to find the missing folder, which is now on one of my network attached storages because it's been that long. Here you go. Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. I can do that for all the folders, right? Can I do that at one time? Can I select all of them? Wow, I'm smart. I'm figuring it out. The selected folder or one of its subfolders is already in Lightroom. Merge? No. Okay, I'm not doing that. Never mind. Select the 5 stars. When you're sporting the hold fast, do you turn your cameras off every time you put them down? I left mine on the last shoot and settings got jacked. I don't turn mine. I turn them off often because, again, especially shooting mirrorless, the batteries just aren't the same as like your old school DSLR. So I definitely turn them off often. I've never had my settings get messed up though while they're hanging on the sides, but I could see how that possibly could happen. Speaking of Squarespace, why did they take away everything on version 7.1? It's like you can't, you know, I didn't realize that they switched to a different like version because I'm still using the old one. And then I went to go make a video about how to edit on Squarespace and I started a new trial and it was on 7.1 and I was like, what is this? Like, I'm so out of touch with it now because I don't work there anymore. I have no idea. Like, I don't even realize what 7.1 is yet. Do you have any videos on the most exciting part of a wedding day, bridal party, and family photos? I don't, but I am working on my most recent full wedding day video. And that video is gonna be a full wedding day. Like, I'm gonna show the whole thing. It's gonna be like 2 hours long. So y'all be ready. Y'all be ready for an epic full wedding day video. It's gonna be a good time. Let's see. Do 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 do. Why are these photos all mixed up? Mentioning the hold fast, I love the single strap. Would love to have it when I'm out just shooting, but I can't justify spending the cash on it right now. Do you know any alternatives? I don't. I only have the solo strap. I'm like, I absolutely love the hold fast stuff. I've been a big fan of them for a long time. Oh, my cameras were like barely synced. Great job. Yeah, so many good weddings that I just haven't put on my site. I'm like over here sleeping on myself for like reasons unknown. Already slammed a venti cold brew. I know, every time I see someone else with a coffee, I'm like, man, I need some more. 7.1 basically took away templates. And you can wide theme changes, but I just want to, I haven't used it enough. I want to redo my website. I actually don't like my website right now, so we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll upgrade to 7.1 and be destroyed because I don't understand why everything is different. Pretty sure I took portraits of her later. Here's a first look. Love the shirt you're wearing. Yeah, this is one of my favorite. This is good old J. Crew. One of my favorite shirts. Hey John, I finally ordered the Canon R6. I might have to get the hold fast strap now. Yeah. Did all the pictures? Yeah, these are all raw. The website looks great. I just deleted it. Yeah, I don't like my website. I really don't. But yeah, I have a whole bunch of different solo straps, honestly. Here, I'll throw some of these shots in here real quick. And then we got a couple portraits. Come on, Lightroom. There you go. Yeah, wow. It's been so long that I don't even really remember these weddings. That's when you know it's been a hot minute, when you just don't remember the day. When do you use flash in wedding indoor? Yeah, so usually I like natural light. I pretty much only start using flash once it starts getting dark. So like reception time basically. So like this point of the day when I'm inside, I'm pretty sure I'm not using flash on these photos, these family shots, because there's enough light in there. Let's put some of these details in there. But like once it starts getting a little dark, then I whip out the flashes. Oh yeah, here's the cake. I hate when they place the cake in front of a window. It is like the absolute worst. How do you access the domain specific email for Squarespace? That you'll have to get in touch with Squarespace. Help for that. I at one point used to know how to do that stuff. I can't remember anymore. Oh yeah, I remember this day. The lighting was like the worst. Oh, like the area where they were standing was like in direct light, and it was mad annoying. And then this person who works at the venue just standing in the back so they could get a picture with their phone, and I was like, come on, just all up in the shot. What are your thoughts on Fuji zoom lenses and 80 mil? So I really like I think it's the 16 to 55 or whatever it is. I'm actually probably gonna buy one because I need something for video. I've been doing a little bit more video recently. Other than that, I don't know too much about the zoom lenses. I don't have a lot of experience with them. Oh my goodness, they were in direct sunlight the whole time. This was the worst. Look at Lightroom over here struggling. And so yeah, when they walked back, it was like direct sunlight and then immediate shade. The worst. What do you do when you have really harsh lightings outdoor? Usually I just kind of deal with it. But yeah, so again, because I shoot more natural light, I'm not as concerned with having the skies blown out. So since it's natural light, like I'll blow the skies out. That's just kind of, I feel like that's what comes with the territory of shooting mainly natural light. Do 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 do. We got intros, first dance, speech stuff. When you shoot a wedding, do you shoot in manual? I do. So when I first started, I did start shooting in aperture priority, but after a while, the auto modes they just start choosing all kinds of weird, you know, like they'll do their own thing sometimes, and it's just like, hey, why are you doing this? So I started shooting in manual. I highly recommend for anyone to shoot in manual as well. And I know it might be a little daunting at first, but you can definitely get used to it. It just takes time and practice and knowing your camera. But once you've done that, you should be good to go. So yeah, again, highly recommend, if you're not shooting manual yet, to start trying to get used to it. Okay, here are our first dance photos. Then we got a cake cut. Now we got some dancing. How's the C1 natural fields coming along? I think it's actually about done. I think I'm gonna, my next live stream, my next scheduled live stream, I'm gonna do another editing photos. And that'll be kind of like the last test of the presets to see if they're good to go. And then once I feel pretty good about that, I think that's gonna be it. Oh yeah, they did a sparkler exit. So I don't know if y'all saw my video on sparkler exits, but this is a great example. So this is like before I got my process down. I think I was using flash. I can't remember. I guess I can look at the... It says did not fire. I feel like I was using flash. But like, I don't know. Shooting wide? I thought shooting wide was the way. I don't know, y'all. I feel like there's no feeling to the photo. You know, it just looked like a bunch of rando people standing there, and some of them have sparklers. It just, I don't know, it didn't look right. I feel like when you shoot long on sparkler exits, they just look so much more epic. Like, again, here, let's compare real quick. So the first time, oh, that was 2019 too, wasn't it? Has it been that long? It has. Wow. So the first time I really started doing my shooting long was this photo here. So this is the first time I used a longer lens for a sparkler exit and kind of really tried to do it the way that I talk about in the videos I've shown. And after I did this, I was like, why am I shooting it any other way? This looks mad epic. You know, like, the sparklers look all cool. You got, like, it just looks good. But, like, shooting wide, I don't know. Look at that. Look at the difference there. You know, like, I don't know. Like, in my opinion, shooting closer just makes the scene so much better. So much better. Shooting wide just looks like a bunch of random people standing around. I'm going to send my photo now if you don't miss out again. Yeah. I should probably go ahead and schedule out the next live stream soon, because we're in the month now. Dope picture. Thanks. Like 56. Yeah. This shot down, this was a 56. It doesn't have to be long, just, you know, like 85 millimeters. It's just so, like, you can still kind of see the people, but the point is the couple. Because you're barely going to see the people anyway, because they're holding their hands up. So I know people like to shoot wide, because they're like, wow, look at all your guests. You can't really see the guest, you know? Like, they're part of the backdrop. The point is the couple and the sparklers. So for me, this was like, this was the moment where I was like, oh, shooting long, it makes so much more sense. Did you have access to a wider lens in that first wedding photo right there? I did. So that shot was with the 14. And I don't know, I just didn't like it. Love the compression. Yeah, The sparklers, they just look so much better with the compression and stuff too. And you still get the same feel. I think it makes it feel even more because you can't see all the people in this longer shot, it makes it seem like there's so many more people there. It just makes everything seems like it's more. You're like, wow, look at the sparkle. Wow, so much is happening. This just seems bland. Like, okay, I don't know. It's like taking an iPhone photo. I shot my first Brennizer photo a few days ago and it came out so bomb. Awesome. I'm glad that worked out. Yeah, Brennizers are like one of the funnest shots to take. And in all honesty, I used to love taking those. When I first learned how to do them, I can remember taking them all the time. Let's see. So this is 87 photos. So that's a good little blog post. Let's go ahead and export it. So we're gonna export. We're gonna find the folder, which is Casey and Colin. Goes into a folder called Photographer's Choice. We got everything ordered by number. Exporting long edge at 2500, 72 resolution, because again, this is going on website. It doesn't need to be huge. Screen sharpening low, and then export and exposure, because that's where all my sharpening actually happens. And then my computer is gonna freak out again because exporting and live streaming is too much for it. You also don't have to mess with the videographer with the title. Yes, if you have other people in your shot too with the title lens, then you don't have to worry about anyone else getting in your way. Can't wait to try it for myself. Yeah, Brennizers are fun. They're scary to do in certain situations. Like, I'll do them at ceremonies, and that's kind of risky, you know, because like the ceremony's happening, and like at the start of the ceremony, I'll be like, snap, 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 Brennizer, like real quick. Hello for the Netherlands. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Just go for it. Worst thing to happen is it doesn't come out right. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, when you make your Brennizers, just make them shots that aren't crucial shots, you know, like a shot that could be a throwaway shot, or like I show in my tutorial, the first picture should be the safe photo. So even if the Brennizer doesn't come out, you have a picture still that you could use. What do you do if your second didn't end up shooting in manual? I didn't. So I've gotten to the point where like I barely use my second photographer's photos. Outside of like my 1 second who uses Fujifilm as well, because we also were both kind of mentored by the same person. So her stuff is awesome, and I know it's gonna be awesome, and it's always great. Half the time, she be taking shots that I wish I took. Nearly at every one of the weddings that she seconds for me, there's a shot she takes that I'm like, dang, bro, I wish I took that shot. Like this one here. This shot right here, so dope. Come on, so good. This was my second photographer. This wasn't me. So good. I always love when that happens, when your second pulls out a shot and you're just like, Hello from New York. Yeah, thinking of learning more photography. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, but speaking of the solo strap, hold fast solo strap, I have like multiple here. Let me show y'all what I got. All right, so, and this, again, this is before I was a Hold Fast ambassador. It was kind of funny because when I became a Hold Fast ambassador, they were like, hey, let us know what gear you have, and if there's anything you want an update on, let us know. And I was like, bro, I have all your stuff. Like, I literally buy all your stuff. So this is the initial solo strap they had before they had the solo strap. I don't really like this thing. I don't use it anymore. But it has that like olive fabric going on, kind of like the bag I use, which I don't even know where it is anymore. This thing. It's supposed to match this. Y'all can kind of see that. So there was this. He only sold this for like the shortest amount of time. I don't think they have it anymore. So I have this. I don't wear this thing anymore. I probably never will. Then I have the leather solo strap, which I'll usually use this if I'm like doing street photography or hanging out with the family or something of that sort. So this is leather. It's nice. I love it. I love the way it looks too. I feel like a superhero every time I put it on. And then I also have the vegan strap. So here's the vegan solo. It's made out of some kind of, I don't know. It's vegan leather, so it's like plastic, I guess. But I got this in black. I haven't adjusted it, so I don't know. I don't know how it fits. Like, it's probably not, I have a short torso, so a lot of things tend to not fit. Oh no, that's good. And see, it comes with this little clip that you put on your belt. And so this clip helps hold it back so your camera's not like swinging all over the place. Yeah, this one's black. I don't wear it too often because I have a thing against black straps. I don't know. It reminds me too much of the Rapid straps. And the Rapid straps always remind me of like dad photographers, or like they call them like the uncle photographers. I don't know, those like old school photographers who just, no offense to nobody, but you know, it's just a different age of photography. Whereas like I love stuff like this. This thing stands out. People notice it. They're always like, oh wow, so cool. And you're like, yeah, bro. So my stuff exported. So again, I select everything, put my sharpening and grain preset. Then I find my black and white and put the black and white presets on those. We got Michigan in the house. Hello, hello. Do you use a switcher like Black Magic? I don't know what that is. Arizona in the house. Hold fast solo, let's go. Haven't been able to hop on a live. Awesome, welcome to the stream. Photographers are superheroes. I'm gonna shoot my next event. Some of those leather straps, no shorts on. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a video about like what to wear to weddings. Now that I've lost some weight and don't feel and have my confidence back. I'll do a what to wear to weddings. So you always bring a second camera equipment for redundancy? Yeah. It's also just easier to shoot like that because I shoot only primes. So when you shoot only primes, having two cameras means you don't have to swap lenses like every 2 seconds. So yeah, generally on a wedding day, I'm wearing my double strap. So the double strap is always my go-to on a wedding day. And I'll just have it like this. Normal setup, 2 cameras. This is my wide camera, so I'll always put wide lenses on this. And then this side will be my tele camera, so I always do the longer lenses on this. And I always know that. So then like when I'm shooting getting ready photos, like I'll pick a distance to whoever's putting on their dress or their suit or whatever. And I can be like, boom, 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 wide shot. Boom, 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 close-ups. Boom, 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 maybe a little bit more close-up, step back, boom, 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 wide. And then when I want to go more wide, I just swap this lens only and now I'm even wider. And if I need to go tighter, I swap this lens only, now I'm tighter. But then I still have my wide option, so I can be like 23 here and a 50 here. and then switch this to a 35, and now I'm 23 here and a 35 here. And that's kind of like my setup. So this is when I'm like really in there shooting. The solo strap is when I'm just kind of like hanging out and it's not as big of a deal. Lens swapping. I love when lens swapping, but again, my setup makes it easy and I'm not doing it too often. How do you combine two cameras in terms of settings? Is it possible to make use of two different brands? You could. Again, editing wise, it's not too bad to use different brands. Like, it's possible and doable. It really just depends on what you like to do. I shoot the exact same bodies. And also, like, again, when it comes to settings are not like a static thing. A lot of people ask, like, what are your settings? The reason, again, I don't show settings is because settings aren't a static thing. They should change with your lighting. So it's less about knowing the settings and more about understanding why the settings. Which, again, that's why I don't show my settings, because if you don't understand the why, in my opinion, as far as learning, you're actually hurting yourself. Because what will happen is you'll go to shoot something and be like, well, John shot this at 1/200th of a second and ISO whatever, but that's not, it's never always the same. It's based on the light itself and what you're shooting and what's happening, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on into it. So as far as settings, you don't have to worry about your settings being the same between the cameras outside of like maybe color and stuff like that. But even so, if you're shooting raw, that doesn't matter. So again, it goes back to knowing light, seeing light, and understanding when and where to change those settings. So again, like if I'm shooting a 23 f2 on this camera and the 50 f1 on this one, well, obviously if I'm shooting this at f1, my settings are gonna be so different because f1's letting in way more light. So my ISO is probably lower because I just have more light. Whereas at f2, I might have to raise my ISO just a little bit more. But those settings aren't going to make a difference between the cameras. I just have them set for the light. Great technique info. First wedding went great. Awesome. Largely because of your help. Yeah. Super grateful. Everything you said about families is so true. Awesome. Love your lighting consistency. What's your reception setup? So receptions, I actually don't use off-camera flash. And let me find my next wedding I need to do, and we can look at some examples as well. Summer and Gregory is definitely the next one because I don't have any of my Carolina Inn weddings on my site for reasons unknown. That's a hot venue with people who got monies. So I should have had this on the site already. Find missing folder. It is in my NAS. 2019 Raws. Summer and Gregory. There it is. We done found it. And we want the 5 stars. So like, let's look at this reception real quick. So here we are, reception time. The worst part, so this venue's nice. We got white ceilings, fairly low ceilings too. Like they're not super low, but you know, they're white, they're there, they're great. The biggest downside of this right now, oh no, what did I do? Is the fact that their lighting was purple. And like when it comes to white balance and purple light, it's just not your friend whatsoever. But again, what I usually do for receptions as far as setup is I have my flashes on my camera. So I'll use a speed light on my camera and I use a mag sphere on top of that. And then I flash. So you see my ISO is 1000. I'm at 160th of a second. And I usually sit around at like 800 ISO, 1000 ISO. 1/60th of a second on the shutter. And see, it's ISO 1000 because I'm on the 14:2.8. This thing doesn't know. Flash did not flash. I definitely had a flash. And yeah, so just flash power, all of it's manual, pretty straightforward, and it flashes enough. I don't like the look of the off-camera flash. You see the like stands in the corner and a big flash. I don't really like that. I might start doing it more, but it's never been, I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan. Hey, are you still using your Hackintosh? Any updates since your last upload of it? Yeah, I'm still on the Hackintosh. This is it now. The only update I've had, which I actually have some videos in the edit, so I updated the case. So I swapped out my whole case, put it in a nice white case, the new Corsair 4000D. Got all white fans, which is, oh, it looks so good. And I also got a Radeon 6800 XT, and those are the only updates to it. Open core is amazing. I don't think, like, I have not had a Hackintosh work as well as this one before doing open core, so it's been going well. It works well. I do all my video editing on it. It's great. I love it. Agree for multiple bodies with primes. Would carry 3 bodies if I needed it. We got India in the house. Hello, welcome. So yeah, my setup is pretty straightforward. It's just flashes on the cameras, light it up, especially because I'm shooting wide. It works because I'm close to the subject anyway, so I don't need the flash to be like extremely powerful. Also, like, another thing I don't like about the typical approach to receptions that most people do is like throwing that much light all the time kind of kills the vibe. You know, like, I just don't like the vibe being killed as much. You know, like, this still looks like a party. You can tell it's a little dark, and that's cool. Whereas, like, when you have all those flashes, is this in order? Oh yeah, because I took them out for it. This was an early day wedding. But you know, when you're throwing so much flash, you like light up the room so hard that it just looks like a bunch of people standing in a room with light. I don't know. I'm sure there's so many photographers who probably watch my stuff and be like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. If you don't use off-camera flash, you're not a real photographer. At the end of the day, take great photos. I don't care how you do it. That's my motto. If you're taking good photos, if you're pleasing your clients, if you're getting paid, that's all that matters. How do you send your wedding photos to clients? I use PicTime. I've been using PicTime now for 3 to 4 years. And it's great. Just put it online. They can download the stuff. They can order prints. It's really good stuff. Y'all should definitely check out PicTime if you haven't. They also just recently released a slideshow function, so you can actually make slideshows right on PicTime, which is awesome. Do you think video will replace stills? For example, extracting stills from, I don't see that happening. Mainly because I don't see photographers doing that. This was like my favorite shot from this whole, such a good getting ready shot. I can't believe I don't have it on my website. Yeah, I just don't see photographers doing video and then trying to take stills from it. Like, there will always be photographers, and then customers aren't going to understand that. They're like, oh, I'll just take video and then pull photos from it. I don't think they'll get that, so I don't see it happening. But who knows? Try out your natural fills preset. Shoot at the same Greek church pretty often. The color balance is pretty rough there. They worked real nice. Nice. Great to hear. Thank you so much. Yeah, again, I'm hoping to get the Capture One stuff done very soon. We'll be yeah, my next live stream is going to be another editing y'all's photos with Capture One. natural feels, just so I can make sure it works all the way it's supposed to. Do 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 do. Yeah, this venue is gorgeous. Like I said, generally the couples who get married here, they have lots of money. Not lots, but you know, they pay a good rate. Do 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 do. So this is the kind of stuff you want on the website, so people will find you. Because I was actually curious why I haven't gotten any inquiries for this venue yet. Because I shot in 2019, I shot there like 2 or 3 times, and then I was like, where are all my inquiries? Like, where are all my Carolina Inn inquiries? And then I realized you don't have any of your weddings on the site. Great job. Oh, I can't read that. I'm sorry, I don't know how to translate. That's Vietnamese though, I know that much. My one of my friends growing up, he's Vietnamese, and we used to do karaoke all the time, and his family would make fun of me trying to do karaoke. Going through and grabbing a couple of photos real quick. Just enough to get a feel for the ceremony. And then we got a first kiss. And we got them walking back. Stills from video are very useful. 4K are about 9 megapixels. Great for YouTube thing. It's very true. It's very true. How long did it take you to complete the natural feels preset? It feels like add some depth that I haven't always. It took a long time. It took a long time. It was just like years and years of trial and error. Because honestly, I didn't like my editing style for the longest time. Like, I really just didn't. I love this shot. It's so random. I don't know. It looks cool. Do 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 do. Where's my couple? Here we go. Here's the shot of the bride. Here's one of the groom. I need a shot of her flowers, and then I'll get one of this and them together. This works. This is good. This here. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't have this on the website. Just hurting myself for reasons unknown. So many subs, thanks y'all. Here are their intros. First dance. I forgot this was a daytime wedding. You would barely know it too, because the reception area doesn't have any windows, so even though it was a daytime wedding, the reception still looks like a normal dark reception. Actually, what time? Yeah, this was like noon. Wow. What is your most go-to editing preset? It's my own, the Natural Fills preset. It's what I use for everything. That's why, again, I've talked about it before, but as far as me selling presets, like, I'm never gonna be like other YouTubers, and again, no offense to anybody, who have like 6 and 7 different presets. I just, you know, the preset I'm selling is my preset. And the reason I'm selling it is because it's my preset and I believe in it, you know? So like, y'all are literally getting my look. It's what I use. So it's less of a, it's less of something I'm just selling because I'm trying to make extra money, and more of something I'm selling because I believe in it, because it's literally what I use. Oh my goodness. White balance was the worst for this way. It really was horrible. Because that purple lighting, I don't know why they did such a thing. Also too, I need to make a video about like last minute choices at weddings that you just have to do. Like, I didn't want to shoot this cake cut the way it was, but they were like up on a platform far away from me, so I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna have to use the long lens and just shoot it from a distance. So I just kind of did what I could. You know, there's a lot of times where you're gonna want to shoot things the way you want to shoot it, and that's just not, that's not wedding photography. Wedding photography is rolling with the punches and being able to make great photos out of like bad situations. Because that's just what happens sometimes. You like, you don't have a choice, you know? So it's like, if you can't make a great photo, then you just miss the opportunity. Okay, so everyone's dancing. This is like a midday wedding. And then I take them back out for more portraits because since it's midday, yeah, it's only 2 o'clock at this point. I was like, we still have light. Let's take some more pictures. So I take them back out again. We get some more portraits. John, have you ever used Pixie Set? I have. Pixie Set was my go-to. Well, so I used Pixie Set for a while, but it was too expensive. And so I was on Shootproof before then. And then from Shootproof, I moved over to PicTime. I currently use that, and I'm not entirely happy with how it isn't entirely clear to the clients how to download the photos. What's the darkest venue I've had to deal with? I'd probably say Catholic churches, but I don't know. I've never... Everyone talks about low light situations like they're the end of the world on a wedding. Like, I've never been in a situation where it was literally like a totally dark dungeon room. I just haven't. Like, I don't know what these situations are, because I hear a lot of people talk about low light like, oh my god, it's gonna be so dark, how do I deal with it? And I was like, I've never seen it that dark. Summer and Gregory. Everything else is set from the last time, so here we go. Just bought your preset, happy support. Thank you so much, I really appreciate that. Again, I appreciate it, but most of all, my family appreciates it. I'm the only income provider of the household. My wife stays home with the kids. I have 3 kids, 1 on the way, so 4 in total. So yeah, my family really appreciates it. Like, when y'all buy because without that, we wouldn't be able to eat. I know all these people think YouTubers are out here making all kinds of money. I haven't gotten to that point yet. I would love to. Yeah, some of these YouTubers, have y'all ever watched any of those like how much YouTube pays me videos? Some of them are crazy, like dudes like Graham Stephan and stuff, and they're like 20 to 50K a month from YouTube ad revenue alone, and I'm just like, what? Like, how? For Catholic weddings, are you normally able to stand at the front, or does it depend on it? Yeah, so Catholic weddings are one of the main places where you're gonna get pushback about where you can be. Luckily, I haven't dealt with any that were like horrible, but usually you can get pretty close to the front. Most of them I've been to will let you come up through the aisle and get closer to the front. Actually, some of the worst weddings I've been to, Southern Baptist and Presbyterian churches, those are the ones that won't let you do anything. Those are the worst. Let me see if I can Catholic wedding. I've done a couple, I just don't know where they are. I definitely did one this year, or in 2019. Oh, I see, this is only half the year. Huh. Wow. Yeah, I don't have any in this catalog, and I'm not gonna switch it. I can agree with the dark statements. Although I am only 3 weddings in. Nighttime, oh no. Nighttime in all my receptions could have been shot at about 1800 ISO. That's been okay. Luckily the mag mod though. Yeah. Like I don't like, people act like it's gonna be pitch black. Like you're never gonna be in a situation where it's pitch black, because if you think about it, just the general public, like the guests and the people making the wedding, they don't want pitch black. You know, like if it's too dark in a room, people are immediately going to turn on lights. So there's going to be some kind of light somewhere. That's why I've never understood how everyone just, they act like everyone's so scared of like it getting dark at a wedding, like it's going to be pitch black. If it's pitch black, you're not taking photos. If it's pitch black, no one is going to be at the wedding. No one wants to be in pitch black. No one likes that. There will be light somewhere. Do you think bigger pixels are beneficial for low light? It's been a while since I've shot a full frame camera. It helps, but it's really what it comes down to is the whole noise factor. So, you know, like crop sensor is gonna have a little bit more noise at lower ISOs. But again, in my opinion, and I know Reggie talks about this, Reggie B Photography, he talks a lot about like, there's a difference between no light and bad light. So again, you're never gonna be in a situation where it's pitch black. That's no light. You'll be in situations where there's bad light and you have to figure out how to get good light, and that's what flashes are for. So again, the only thing you should be concerned about with a camera and its low light capability is how can it focus in low light. That's the only thing that matters. We need to get focused, so that matters most. But aside from getting focus, it's kind of like what, I don't ever understand what people are talking about when they say low light performance, because you should be creating your own light. You know, if you're in a situation where it's that dark, you probably have flashes or LED lights, continuous lights or something. You know, you don't just go in there and be like, oh, it's dark, raise my ISO. That's not the way. Obviously, it's nice if you can, and sometimes you get in situations where you don't have a flash ready, but like, I don't know. I've gotten to the point of the way I do my photography, not having a flash because it's in my bag somewhere is not an option. So again, y'all have seen the way I shoot, but I wear that double strap. So I have the double strap on me, I have 2 cameras, and then I have this bag on the back here. And so this bag is hanging out. There's always a tele lens in here, so usually my 50, and also my flashes in here. So if I'm ever in a situation where all of a sudden it's too dark and I need a flash, I'm just like zip, shoot, boom, there it is, my flash, plop, put it on my camera, I got the mag mods in there too, so you just bloop, pull that out, boom, put it on the thing, bam, 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 bam. I got my flash, I'm good. You know, like, and that's another thing that I don't like about the whole off-camera flash stuff, is that because it becomes such a science of flash and light, what happens is that you're less flexible. Like me having this bag and my flashes in my bag and using flash on camera, I have so much flexibility. I can whip out a flash whenever I want to. Where sometimes with off-camera flash, if you're not ready for it, you're like, oh wait, I gotta get my light stands. Oh wait, I can't do the flash. What am I gonna do? It's dark. So again, no offense to anyone who does off-camera flash, and I've said it 50 billion times, even if you mainly shoot natural light and you like that look better, you need to understand off-camera flash or learn the basics of it at least, so that if you're in a situation where you need it, you can do it. That's the point. You don't have to. I don't like when photographers talk to new photographers and they're like, if you don't know off-camera flash, you can't do weddings. And then so new photographers are all stressed, like, what am I gonna do? I can't do off-camera flash. I don't know how to, I will never be a wedding photographer. No, there's lots of different approaches. Again, make your clients happy, take great photos. That's the main point. And then off-camera flash and stuff are skills that you should have in your tool belt, and then you choose what you like the most. It's almost the same as what I was talking about with sparkler exits and how I used to shoot them wide lens, but now I shoot them with tele lenses and I like the tele better. So I have the tools now. I've practiced what I like, and now I'm like, cool, I like to do it like this. This is how I'm gonna do it most of the time. And I just ranted for 50 years. Bought your preset as well, working great. I appreciate your content. Thank you so much. Once your preset is applied, do you find that more adjustments may be required? Yeah, there are more adjustments. So again, presets are never really like a once only type of thing. There's something that you have to work at and perfect for the photo itself. But they're a basis of color settings and how things should look. I had to shoot an event in a lecture hall, and that joint was almost dark. Pitch black. But I mean, even in a lecture hall, right? There should have been a light at least on the person giving the lecture. Because that's what I found. People are always scared of Catholic weddings, but usually there's a lot of light right up in the sanctuary. Like there's a lot of light up there. There's usually like lights or candles or something. Yeah, everything else might be dark, but like where they're at, there's at least light. I want to tell you thank you. I learned from you, helped me secure a wedding job in March 2022. Awesome, perfect. I have my first wedding to shoot, and I have to stick to COVID numbers and rules. Have you done any weddings during COVID? And if so, got any tips? Yeah, so I did 10 weddings in 2020. Pretty much since everything locked down. The biggest thing I would say is definitely treat them like they're still real weddings. Don't like skimp on them because it's less people. Treat it the same. Give your couples the same amount of passion and photography that you would even if it was a full wedding. Other than that, you know, you're wearing a mask most all the time. Depending on the rules outdoors, you might be able to take your mask off, but again, keep distance. Shoot longer than you usually would. And that's pretty much it. Other than that, it's all the same. Versatility is the key to life. It is, though. Agreed. You do one or two and realize how much leeway you really have. Low light, I think the concern is more so anxiety about possibly not having it. Yeah, and that's kind of what I was saying. Like, I think people scare photographers about low light. And I think it comes from all those older school photographers who like have to do off-camera flash. I think that's where a lot of that anxiety and fear of like low light comes from. Because they'll be like, can you shoot in low light? Do you know off-camera flash? Can you do it? Oh! And then you're like, I don't know, can I? It'll be dark at weddings. What are you gonna do when it's dark? You know, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then like I meet my mentor and he's just like, yeah, take a flash, put the mag mod on it, it'll be good. Shoot the flash, shoot it like this. You know? And you're like, oh, that's it? It's okay. Yeah. Make your own light. You'll be okay. Wow, it's possible. I agree with that though, and I do understand, especially when you haven't done it yet. I fully understand that fear of darkness, because that's what starts happening, especially when you're new and you don't understand your settings as much and you don't understand your camera's limits. It is scary because it's like, I know that pictures look great when it's light, but what happens when it gets dark? What happens when I have to know how to set the light, not just see the light and take the picture? So thanks to everybody, John. You're inspiring us all. Yes. Happy Friday. Thank you so much. When you first started wedding photography, did you find yourself just putting presets on your photos, or did you initially push to understand editing? So I was kind of in the middle. I did use presets, but I also was working with understanding editing, because again, and Reggie B Photo talks about this a lot, you should understand what you're doing in Lightroom. Presets are just to give you a color basis, and you should still understand what you're doing. So a lot of my early work, which I have deep down hiding somewhere, a lot of my early work, I used the Maston Labs presets. And I still was pretty much, you know, I was editing my photos, but for the most part, it was the preset and then figuring out how to kind of, you know, use my presets from there. Here, cause this wedding I second shot, so I was a second shooter for this. This was on the Canon 6D. And y'all can see again too, like, oh, y'all can't even see the photos. What am I doing to y'all? I'm sorry. Hey, here's some photos you can't see. Do you need Squarespace if you have PicTime? Yes, they're two separate things. Now, if you don't want to have a full-blown website and you just want a place where people can see your photos, you could use PicTime for that as well. But a website is like your storefront. You kind of need to have that to get clients in. PicTime can't do that alone. So I would still suggest having both. So yeah, this was an early wedding that I seconded at. And again, you can see the way I shoot has been kind of the same. I was using the 6D here. This was edited with the Maston Labs presets. Any advice for what to say when clients ask to see the photos on the camera right after you take them? That's always a hard one. So I've talked about this before, but I vet my couples pretty hard. If I have a couple who's asking to see the photos all the time, those are usually the type of people that I don't like to work with. And again, it's nothing against them. It's more just like, I know what that entails, and they're looking for like perfect photos. I can't believe I didn't straighten this. This hurts me so much. It's like just a little bit of curve in there. But yeah, like, they're just gonna be too high strung about stuff. But if you're saying, can you show photos to your couples at all while you're shooting? I'd definitely say yeah. Especially if you take a banger shot, show it to them. Because a lot of times what that will do is it'll help them get in the mood. And they'll be like, wow, this is great. And then they'll be like, yeah. And loosen up more about taking photos. If they're like a little, you know, like, I don't really like taking photos. You got a banger shot, show them. But yeah, generally I don't. I'll straight up tell couples sometimes that I don't show the photos. They're like, can we see it? I'm like, no, I gotta edit it. You know, like, I do that. Like, I'll say no. About to go second camera at a wedding in an hour. Nice. Shooting a wedding tomorrow. That Magmod flash will definitely be me. Yep. What do you think about the end of X-Trans 4? Do they continue with X-Trans 5 or Bayer? Are they ending it? Are there talks about that? I haven't heard about that. Are they moving on to a new sensor? Man, none of these shots are straight. Why wasn't I straightening my photos back in the day? What's wrong with me? But yeah, this was a fun shot. Jenny made it into the live stream. Hello, welcome to the stream. But yeah. And again, this is what I was talking about, like the difference between crop sensor or not. Like, this looks like my work. You know, like, because it's me. And it will always look like my work. Wow, so much old stuff. I was a third photographer at this wedding. This wedding had like 300 people, or more like 400 or 500. So the photographers had like a whole team. There was like 4 or 5 of us or something. And I was the third photographer. And I was like, this is crazy. There was videographers. It was a whole production. I was like, this is insanity. I do that as well, banging shots. Yeah, exactly. If you get a really good one and it just looks good in camera, show that thing to them. Oh wow, this was my first wedding on Fujifilm. So this was still before the natural fills preset. But the first time doing a wedding on Fujifilm. This was my second photographer. I don't like sending the second off to take photos of the groom, but for this wedding I had to for whatever reason. But yeah, this stuff is all me. Wow, yeah, this was like 3 years ago, I think. OGB Tech is here. Welcome to the stream. How big was the bridal party? I can't remember. Yep, love this shot. So many good shots. Let's see what other weddings, let's see what other old work I got. I don't even remember what any of this stuff is. Oh yeah, this was some early Fujifilm stuff too. I think this is when I finally switched over to the natural fills preset. This was in Florida. Man, so many little things I've gotten better at. Like, I should have closed this closet. That should have definitely been closed. Oh no, I don't think this is natural fills yet. Flat lay, so good. You shooting Leica yet? I would love to try the Leica. I've never tried one out. I think getting ready shots are kind of my favorite part of the day. This is 35 f2. I think this is all XT2 stuff. XT2 looks good, y'all. People, should I get it? What should I? The XT2 is still capable. So cool to go back and think about how much better you could have. Yeah, it is kind of fun. You go back and it's like, what was I doing? Like, why was I shooting it like that? They did a first look. I was shooting this all by myself as well. Nice. Yeah, this is all good stuff. It's always surprising to me going back and be like, hey, this actually was decent. Here, let's see if we can find some more non-Fuji. Oh yeah, this was non-Fuji. This was good old Canon 6D. This was my second photographer. Again, I don't do this anymore, but sending your second to do the groom's photos, I usually don't do that anymore. This stuff was me. That was my second. This is me. But yeah, this is the same lighting situation again. Low ceilings, got the flash on my camera. Can't wait to be able to go back and view my oldies. Yeah, this was like 2017. This is like old. I feel like back for these weddings, like I didn't really totally know what I was doing. Oh, Photo Me Ike in the house. Yo, bro, you going to WPPI? I'm like debating if I want to go. I'm trying to go to WPPI. It's been forever. Yeah, I feel like for these old weddings, I was just taking pictures. I didn't really have control of the day. I didn't really, you know, I wasn't really familiar with what I was doing. I was just like taking pictures. So I was able to get through my first couple of years of weddings, but I was very lucky that nothing serious happened at a wedding because I wouldn't have known how to handle it at all. I was just taking pictures and making them look good. And that was about it. But yeah, I was accomplishing what I needed to, so that's what matters most of all. I've done many weddings, but I'm doing my first look tomorrow. Any advice? So for first looks, I always suggest, are you gonna have a second, or is it gonna be you by yourself? Because if it's you by yourself, what I generally like to do, and you know what, let me see if I can find some examples for you. Yeah, let's open up the second half of, we'll open up the second half of 2020 or 2019. Oh wait, what is this? What am I doing? What am I doing? Lightroom catalogs 2019 Q2. Yeah, I'll be there just cause. Yeah, I might go. I might have to go. I haven't been to WPPI since like 2016. No lighting assistant? No. Generally, I don't need one because, again, I don't really shoot off-camera flash. So all my stuff is like in my pockets. A lighting assistant would just not be there. But yeah, so for first looks, if you're doing it by yourself, I generally like to take wide photos to start out. And I do the wides when like the bride is coming over. And I usually always tell her to wait, not to immediately like come over and touch him or grab him or whatever. I tell her to give me like 2 seconds. So basically, she'll walk up, and when she gets close, I let her know not to touch him yet. I swap to my telly and I reposition myself, and I focus on him and his reaction. And then I capture all that with the telly. That's my biggest tip, because getting the emotion and the first viewing, you want to get a close-up of that. People love to see people's faces and how they were feeling. So that's the main thing you'll want to do there. And those are my main tips. Again, for everything, just make sure to control it. Keep it in a controlled manner so you can still get the shots you want. Man, Lightroom's the worst. It'd be like taking forever to open and stuff sometimes. I'm trying to see if I can find a first look that I did by myself. I don't really be remembering these weddings like that, so. Lightroom, okay. I think Lightroom's back. It's trying to be back. What's WPPI? It's the World Photographers something. I can't remember what it stands for. It's basically like a big convention that happens here in the States. It happens in Vegas. Most all the photographers go there. And all the companies go there and show off their stuff and things. I love WPPI. I just like meeting up with the homies and seeing everyone. Yeah, that's why I think I want to go. I don't really do any learning. Yeah, I haven't done any of the classes or anything. But now that I'm somebody, I want to go to WPPI. I'm not just a random guy anymore. I'm an influencer. They know me. I want to see the peoples. Let's see. Let's see. First look. And I was the main photographer. Or actually, what is this? I don't think they did a first look. Such a good wedding. I never edited any of these photos. Ugh, so good. Wait, I thought I could edit without the file. I guess not. Good old cornfield. Good stuff. Lightroom is dead to me. I haven't made it over to capture one yet. I can't. Let me see. A first look without a second. Do I really not have any? Wow. Oh wait, this was one. This was my first full wedding day video. But yeah, so look, Lightroom can't even load it's like, I don't know what I'm doing, help me. Where was their first look? Was it before this? Was it after? Yeah. Here we go. I'll just do 5 stars since it doesn't want to load all the pictures for reasons unknown. Maybe I'll give it a second. What's the attitude and energy of your favorite couples you find yourself enjoying to work with? I love couples who are low key and don't get all stressed about, like, I call it like the pomp and circumstance of weddings. You know what I mean? Like, they just want to have a good time. And they want their guests to have a good time and they just want to get married, you know? It's not like they're not all like, ooh, it's a wedding. Everything has to be perfect. You know, like, so couples like that, And I find that I tend to get better shots from couples who are also like that. So for instance, if I can remember this couple's name and what year they were in, because I can't remember anything. Oh my goodness. Was this 2018? Has it been that long? Trying to find one of my favorite shots, but I'm forgetting the name of the couple because I'm the worst. I really am. I'm like the worst with names. Let me see. Let me see if I can find them. What year was it? I thought it was 2019, but it's probably 2018. Yo, where are they? There they go. So one of my favorite wedding couples and one of my favorite shots, like this is exactly one of those couples who just like, they just wanted to have a good day and a great time and spend time with their friends and family and stuff like that. So like, I mean, it rained on their wedding day. It like downpoured on their day. So their guests had shown up. It was about time for the ceremony, but it was raining. Their ceremony was supposed to be outdoors, but it was raining. Most people and most couples that you think of would be totally distraught and totally like just mad and, you know, like in a bad mood, but they were cool. They did their cocktail hour twice. So because guests had shown up, but it was raining, they did a cocktail hour while they waited for the rain to stop. The rain stopped and they still did the ceremony outside. And like, this is what you get. A couple who just loves to have a great time. And also, when people are like that, when they're those type of people, their guests are also kind of those kind of people. So you see everyone's just so happy and having such a great time. They were such an awesome couple. They invited me to their rehearsal dinner the day before just to come. Not even like, hey John, can you bring your camera? Which I do charge for that. They were just like, hey, come hang out, meet the guests and stuff, and come hang out with us and have some food and some drinks. And I was like, word. So those are my couples. The people who treat you like a person. The people who, you know, you're not just a photographer. You know, like, you're not just the guy pressing the shutter. And I feel like you end up getting better shots out of it. They were such an awesome couple. You know, like this shot, her and her sister, so cool. Here's him and his brother and his mom walking down the aisle. Just look at everybody. But it's because they were chill. You know what I mean? They weren't those people who are like, oh, high strung about weddings. Like, oh my God, there's a wedding. Like, I get you want it to be important in a big day, but on the same end, you should be having a great time and having fun. So having a larger platform of some kind of influence does make WPBI experience more interesting. But I love the people and the companies are there. Yeah, I'm trying to go. Actually, I'm trying to see, maybe I can get sponsored. Maybe someone will sponsor me to go to WPBI. It's just kind of weird because I don't think as many companies are going this year because it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. They don't know how many people are going to show up. So they're not sure if it's going to be worth it for them. I would love to patches your preset, but how do I do that? What links? purchase the preset. I got the link somewhere. Let me get it for you real quick. I was supposed to have a bot that does that kind of stuff, but I don't think it works. Here we go. There's the preset. Y'all can check it out if you'd like to. But yeah, there were so many great shots from this wedding. And I mean, it rained. You can kind of see it here, but in the groom's photos, or the groomsmen, you could definitely tell, like, it was raining. Like, mad hard. It wasn't just a little bit of water. But yeah, and they appreciated my approach and how calm I was with the rain and stuff, and we still got through it all. It was a great time. Where's this groomsman shot? I had a picture of them like jumping, but yeah, you can see it here. Like it's full on like pouring. Luckily, I got the bridesmaids photos done before it was like full on pouring, but there we go. But yeah, it was raining. Quick Google of that WPPI function sounds fun. And my kind of function. Gonna have, yeah. If I am able to go, I might try and do like a photo walk or something, or just get a model and do just a quick little like meet and greet and take some photos. That'd be cool. Just shot my first 2 weddings. I'm having a hard time with how long it's taking me to edit them. Any tips for editing faster? The first and main tip for editing faster is not to care so much about the photos. And I know that sounds backwards, but I found over my years, you can't nitpick every single photo and try to edit it. Like, it's too much. It'll take you forever doing it like that, being like, okay, let me edit this photo and let me make this all perfect, and you just have to be like, here's a preset, make sure it looks good, make sure the exposure looks good, make sure the shadows look good, and the white balance, okay, cool, next one. And then also you should be editing in scenes. So like when I was looking at what wedding was it I was looking at? Yeah, this wedding. So when you edit in scenes, it's much easier to edit. Actually, let me show you for real. Let's find this folder and I'll show you for real. Who's this? Heather and Michael? All right. Is this sorted right? This is all crazy. This ain't sorted right. What? Oh, it's not. Okay. So if I'm editing for speed, first off, presets always help. I know a lot of people don't like presets, but even if you create your own preset, that helps. So at least you have a look for your photos, and then you can use that throughout multiple photos. Also, you want to shoot in Kelvin if needed to be. So like all of this is actually in Kelvin. So because this was shot in Kelvin and it looks like it was the same lens, I can easily come in here. And so it's a little too orange for me, so I'm gonna auto white balance, and that looks good. I'm gonna straighten it up real quick. I have my preset, so I'll throw the preset on there, and then I'll do any exposure and shadow changes and stuff that I think needs to happen. You know, maybe I'll crop it or something, center them up a little bit. So I've edited that one, and I like the way it looks. And then if I had other photos that I was gonna be delivering, you can literally just select them all and sync the settings. The settings should be about the same because it's the same scene, so the lighting's the same, the Kelvin's the same, and also the lens is the same. And that's pretty much how I edit for speed, because now I've just edited like what, 8 pictures and they're pretty much done. I think there's too much magenta and not enough orange. And then I'll sync it again. And then what I'll do is I'll go through all the other photos and make sure they're leveled up and they look the way I want them to. Some of them, if I want a black and white, I'll do that real quick. But yeah, like all these photos are basically done. And that's how I'll edit. Another thing that speeds up for me is I like to use this little 2. This will open up a second window. So I'm on a ultra wide monitor. So what I'll do is I'll have my main Lightroom view like in one side, and then I'll have this second monitor view in the other side. And I use the survey view. And with the survey view, basically, if I highlight a bunch of pictures, it's gonna show all of them like this. So basically I have Lightroom on one side where I'm editing one photo, and I have this over here on the other side that's also showing me all the photos I selected. So when I sync all of them, I can tell that they're all the same, and that helps me with speed as well. And then yeah, you just, like I kind of said, you can't really care about the photos too much. If you take too much time nitpicking every photo, you're just gonna take too long. You also have to know, like, I know this is a black and white. I see it, I feel it, it's black and white. Come in, make sure it looks the way I want it to be, and there it goes. That's it. Like, just fast edits, get it done. Because yeah, weddings take forever. Here's a shot, this is great. Preset, white balance, exposure, level it up. Boom, great. That's literally how I edit weddings. And then I go, cool, here are the other photos from that section. Boom, sync settings. Boom. Boom, there are my settings, and they sync over, and you're like, great, looks good. Double check them, make sure they look good. This one's a little dark, so you come in, straighten it up, hit it off with some exposure. Boom, looks good. Great. It's a little overexposed now, but you get the point. Thank you. I actually had a question. Have you ever gone for a wedding shoot without a prime lens? Maybe when you were starting out. Nope, I've always used primes. I don't have much experience with zoom lenses at all. I've shot a zoom like once or twice recently on a wedding, but generally I've always shot with primes. Yeah, these close-ups are usually black and whites. But yeah, having a good preset that you really enjoy and like, that to me is kind of where editing fast comes in. Also, you see how because I shot in Kelvin, I can just auto white balance it and it knows what's happening. All right, John, got a dip. Cool, thanks for joining in the stream. I'll catch you, man. Hopefully I'll see you at WPPI. And yeah, if y'all haven't followed Photo Me Ike's channel, definitely go check him out. He has some dope stuff. Also a lot more off-camera flash stuff if you want to check that out. So, oh look, this is a Brenizer. Did it work? Did I actually make it? It doesn't look like it worked. Where are those cornfield pictures? should be down here somewhere. Actually, I passed them. They should be past the family photos. I'm pretty sure. But now I can't remember. I love your work. Thank you so much. 200 pics took me like 2 days. Can't imagine 900 plus. Yeah, I'm editing. Like, if I could sit down in a setting and do it just in one sitting, I can probably finish a good 1,000 photos in 8 hours, 7 to 8 hours. My attention span just, I can't. Like, I can't sit there the whole time editing photos. Where are their portraits? Oh well, here. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, even see, so this one's edited, so I know I can select this one and sync the settings. And it'll probably be good. And if not, I can go back and, you know, touch it up to make sure it works correctly. But yeah. So good. This one needs exposure. Center that up a bit. What a good wedding. This one's too orange. Explain Kelvin. Kelvin is a measurement of light's temperature or warmth or color between, you know, very orange to very blue or warm to cool. And when you shoot in Kelvin, you're telling your camera exactly how you want it to think about Kelvin. So it does Kelvin automatically, which is what auto white balance is. But if you do it in Kelvin, you can use the measurement itself. So you can say 5600K, the K is Kelvin. And then when you shoot in Kelvin, it's easier to edit as well because you know everything's the same. Like auto white balance is every time you take a photo, it's making a judgment of where it thinks Kelvin is in the scene that you're looking at. And sometimes it can be off. Whereas when you shoot Kelvin, you know it's exactly the same. Now, obviously, if the light temperature itself changes, then the light temperature itself changes, but your camera is still shooting everything at a specific Kelvin, like 5600. How do you edit photos with high ISO and with shadows? So shadows, when it comes to shadows, that comes down to how you shot the photo. I try my best not to have stuff with too much shadows. High ISO, this is a great example of high ISO right here. This was super high ISO. Let's see. Oh no, I was only at 1600. That's pretty high for Fuji, but it's not that bad. I mean, the real thing is just making sure your noise reduction looks good. I usually turn the details up a bit and the luminance. But yeah, nothing changes too much for high ISO, just some noise reduction. John, your preset changed by my life. I was just tweaking the style and now I can edit wedding in a day. Awesome. But that's about it for me, y'all. I've done the task that I was set to do today. I got a couple of got a couple of wedding blog posts finished. I just need to get them up on my website now. So yeah, I think that's about all. That's about all for now. So yeah, thank you again for hanging out on the channel. Thank you for hanging out in the live stream. Again, I'm gonna be scheduling out the next full scheduled live stream soon. I'll be editing your photos again in Capture One so I can test the natural fills preset in Capture One so I can get that out to you all, because I know everyone's waiting for it for like the longest time. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out as always. I'm hoping to have my full wedding day video out at least by the end of this month, if not next month. So expect that. This is gonna be the longest one ever. It's gonna be like 2 hours of just full straight on wedding photography information, seeing me at an actual wedding. So again, thanks for hanging out, and I will catch you all next time. All right.